Good day, Chair, members of the committee, and members of the public. I thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Andrew Selman. I'm a Ward 3 resident, and I'm here today to discuss the microshelter project and the report from the Auditor General. A year ago to the day, January 15th, 2025, I stood in chambers and said, when the lawsuits start piling up, when the costs come in, you can't say you weren't warned. Since then, lawsuits have come in. The costs have piled up, and they are now the subject of the auditor's report. Like many people in this city, I wear a few different hats in my life. I'm a father, I'm a taxpayer, I'm a proud Hamiltonian, and professionally, I've spent much of my corporate career in corporate compliance auditing, evaluating whether processes have been followed, where they fail, and fixing them so mistakes don't happen again. Now, I'll start with my first hat, which just as a citizen of Hamilton. I became involved in this issue the way many residents might, watching council proceedings at home. During one of those meetings, a City of Hamilton employee referenced prior work supposedly completed by Microshelter Inc., including what was described as the Utah project. What concerned me was simple. That information was not accurate. Microshelter Inc. had never done a project in Utah. So I did what any auditor would do. I verified it. That same afternoon, I contacted the president of a Foldham Corporation in the United States, the company whose materials and imagery Microshelter was referencing. We spoke at length about the project, about this project, about construction standards, electrical requirements, insulation, and what realistically could be expected based on the shipping details of the units we, the City of Hamilton, had purchased. At the same time, business records were pulled. They showed Microshelter Inc. was incorporated just weeks prior to winning a multi-million-dollar contract. Additional information was gathered through public records and basic data collection. I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back. I'm saying it because it matters. Because the reality is, in a single afternoon, a private citizen conducted more due diligence than the City of Hamilton did prior to committing millions of public dollars, prepaid, 100% upfront, for deficient units. That's not an opinion, that's a documented fact, as stated by the Auditor General, who said a basic Google search would have shown the City of Hamilton much of this information. Now, the mayor has said decisions were made in good faith on information and circumstances available at the time with the intent of serving the community's best interests. As a taxpayer, I reject that framing, particularly the phrase, the information available, because the problem wasn't bad faith. The problem was a failure to seek, verify, and challenge information that was readily obtainable. That failure didn't just cost money. It cost the opportunity to house more people. The millions of dollars lost to rework, could have housed people for years. Instead, those dollars went to rewiring units that arrived with appliance wiring, something that should have never passed a basic procurement check. This brings me to my final hat as an auditor. What this report lays out is not a series of minor missteps. It describes foundational process failures. No vendor vetting, no formal contract, massive advance payments. These are not edge cases. They're procurement 101. And when the city fails of this magnitude order, they raise a serious question. If the city cannot execute a project like this with discipline and controls, how can the residents be confident in future large-scale initiatives, no matter how well-intentioned? So I close with two clear asks. First, transparency. Release to the public the precise timeline from first contact between the City of Hamilton and Microshelter Inc. The fact is, this company was created just weeks prior. It's not incidental. It's central to understanding how this happened. Second, accountability and structure. Adopt a formal public root cause analysis, whether through a Six Sigma DMAIC framework or an equivalent methodology. Identify every process level failure, assign ownership, and clearly articulate to the public how this will be corrected and controlled going forward. Everyone in this room, I'm sure, wants to help vulnerable people. I believe that. But good intentions don't excuse poor execution. And urgency can never override good governance. Hamiltonians, taxpayers, and the people we want to help, they all deserve a lot better than this. Thank you very much. My name is Andrew Selman. Have a great day.